Hi, welcome back. It's the Carton Show. You know, the third headline we didn't have time to get to a few moments ago. Let's just acknowledge it right now. One of the great games yesterday, the Baltimore Ravens, the LA Rams.
Absolutely.
The Rams are balling right now. I don't care what anybody says. You want no piece of them as they make an attempt to try to navigate, the NFC wild card and get into the playoffs. But that's a huge win, a signature win for the Baltimore Ravens. Back and forth, Stafford was every bit as good yesterday as Lamar Jackson was. And then it came down to a punt return, damn near 80 yards. And this was one of those Madden-type things. Hit the B button, hit the B button. Sprint, stay up. And the guy's never returned a punt for a touchdown in his NFL career. Dives into the end zone, and that's a wrap. Baltimore, in winning this game, gets their 10th win, and now they do control the path to the number one seed. But remember, Week 17 is, as we like to say here, the biggest game of the year. That'll be the game that decides the AFC number one seed. But I did want to acknowledge that was one of the great games yesterday, and the Ravens answered the bell and answered a lot of questions about their ability to win close games against teams that can stay toe-to-toe with them. Obviously, last night, Dallas and Philly is the game everybody wants to talk about as the Eagles now lose their second consecutive game. And Dak Prescott was money. And the owner, Jerry Jones, acknowledged not only that he was money and that it's going to cost him a lot of money, but he thinks he's actually the MVP right now. Nothing negative at all about Dak Prescott's game. I want to be clear about that. Brock Purdy's the MVP. Let's not get that twisted. Dak's in the conversation. You could bring his name up.
Do this
you don't get embarrassed by bringing his name up, but you lost 42-10 to Brock Purdy, who does have the best record in the NFC right now, along with the Dallas Cowboys. Right. But, of course, they have the tiebreaker against Dallas. Why? Because Brock Purdy outplayed Dak Prescott when they went head-to-head. So Dak might be the runner-up. But he ain't the MVP.
He's definitely the MVP. And I think he made a hell of a case. Low graphics this early, Craig. I just don't know where they come from. 28 touchdowns, leading the league in touchdowns, 6 interceptions. What he's doing with this offense is flat out dominance. And when you talk about they have more plays, more time of possessions, more first downs, more yards. They dominated this game in all categories, and solely because of Dak Prescott.
To be fair, as Greg and I were texting last night with each other, they also played the New York Giants twice, the New England Patriots, the New York Jets, the Carolina Panthers, the Washington Commodores.
So you want to do that? You want to talk?
They absolutely embarrassed all those teams, too.
Yes, they did.
But great. So you want to talk about perception versus reality? Talk about the Eagles, right? Talk about the Eagles and what they've won. They've won close games, the games they shouldn't have won, and they've had the better record. They're not the better team.
I never said they were.
But my point is, Dak Prescott has proven time after time with the wins, good teams or bad teams, he's been the best quarterback with the best offense.
I'm with you here because when you look at what Brock Purdy is doing, and I'm not one to try to take away from what somebody has done. He's been absolutely stellar. Should he be in the MVP conversation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is he the MVP? No. He is. I'm saying Brock Purdy is not.
Oh,
so thank you. Brock Purdy is not.
Dak, you guys like the wrong twins.
Here's the reason why. When you look at the numbers, if we can put these numbers back up,
they're identical.
Like they are identical.
And who won head-to-head?
I understand who won head-to-head.
One time.
I just want to point something out. When you have a receiving core that is always top 2 or 3 in yards after catch. Like that plays a role in who you are. As I'm not discounting the fact that Brock Purdy is getting them the ball.
Right.
But when you can throw the ball 5 yards to a CMC, to a Debo, to a Kittle, to a Brandon Ayuk, and they lead the league they're almost top 5 every single year. In yards after catch, that plays a huge role in your numbers. Dak Prescott is actually doing it. Like, I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb and others aren't getting yards after catch because they are, but it's nowhere near the caliber of what we're seeing Debo do every single week.
It's funny.
Christian McCaffrey do every single week.
I sit here and I feel at the times like I'm just smarter than everybody else.
How?
Almost like I have a PhD in football, and I didn't play professionally. I did have that one game for the Cleveland Giants against the Russian team, but that's another story for another day. True story. You can go back and look it up. I did play semi-pro football in Cleveland. One game against the Russian Giants. It's a long story. That being the case, though.
The Russian Giants?
The Russian Giants. That's what they went by. The three of us having played can talk, intelligent football. You guys couldn't be more wrong.
How?
And you come across, frankly, as having an agenda against the greatness of Mr. Irrelevant. I know you guys are bothered that he got picked last.
Oh, no.
I know you guys love the concept of,
we don't even use that
he's a
narrative no more.
system quarterback.
No, I don't believe
say that
Yeah,
no more.
let me walk you through. I have a great example for you, all right? Brock Purdy doesn't play. The Niners aren't very good. We saw that in the NFC Championship game last year. If you want to,
Well, Brock Purdy and no other quarterback.
If you want to throw bullets or take shots at my guy Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott's had a great year. It's a valuable argument or conversation to have. Where does Dak stack up against the best in the league? For me, that's Brock Purdy. I would then point the finger without getting too in the weeds on it or going, of course, here too much, because then the producers get mad at me. I saw a guy in Cincinnati yesterday score 30 points again. Jake Browning. And I'm saying to myself,
what does he have to do?
I'm going to walk you through what he has to do that. I hear a lot of people talking about how, Brock Purdy's a system quarterback. He can't be the MVP yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Bengals offense looks just as good without Joe Burrow as it does with him.
No.
So Joe Burrow must be a system quarterback.
No, not at all.
Oh, he's not. But Brock Purdy is.
Did they look that good against the Steelers a couple weeks ago?
No,
when they couldn't really score
couldn't do
points?
nothing. He didn't look good against
Were
the
you
Ravens.
saying that then?
I take the win on that.
He didn't look good against the Steelers.
In
He had
any
one
event,
fight game against the Jaguars.
I do think it's great that Jerry Jones is out there talking the way he's talking about Dak, because we've obviously seen the opposite. My real question coming out of last night's game, because it wasn't competitive, let's be fair about it, the Eagles did not look like the Eagles that have run roughshod over the NFC, and especially the NFC East the last 2 years. Jalen Hurts is something wrong. Yep. Either last year was an aberration, and I don't want to believe that it is, because then it changes my entire mindset on who Jalen Hurts is as a football player, or there's just something wrong with him this year. Because he went from MVP candidate Jalen Hurts, guy was like 20-2 in regular season games, and the Eagles always found a way to win. And then yesterday, another fumble, as you see right there. He's a turnover machine right now, and that Eagles offense, there's something wrong with
it. I think they're tired. I think that when you see compared to what the Cowboys look like on tape, they're popping off the film. And you got to also understand Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, they all have turnovers yesterday.
Yeah,
Which doesn't
that's right.
to good football. And so what they need and what they're struggling with is they're waiting for the magic to come alive, and it's not happening for them.
Yeah.
They're waiting for those big explosive plays. They're waiting for somebody to make a play that's going to flip this game over, and it didn't happen.
Here's obviously the upside for Philadelphia. Right now, you're feeling yourselves a little bit. You get people standing outside the NovaCare Center in Philly with signs, run the ball, stop fumbling the ball, don't throw interceptions. But we're all very well aware you cannot sit here and start digging dirt on the Eagles' grave, because schedule-wise, it's going to appear that they've righted the ship. Why? Because of that.
Yeah.
Now, Seattle will be a test for them for sure. Although Seattle got kind of embarrassed yesterday. Drew Lock playing instead of Geno Smith, so you kind of throw the one out of the trash. But then week 16, 17, and 18, we all know what Philly's going to do. Philly's going to average 30-plus points in those 3 games. They're going to look great, and then we're going to have to ask the question, are they real or are they pretenders as they make a run towards another Super Bowl appearance? I don't know what they are. I've seen them look good. I've seen them win and not look great. And now I've seen them look bad in back-to-back losses against the best teams in the conference.
Yeah, you've also seen them not have the ability to come back in the second half, which they've been able to do earlier in the season.
Yeah.
What's troubling about the Eagles overall, man, from a total team, they're just not on the same accord, right? I mean, you're asking this defense to do more and be more, and they haven't been that all season.
They haven't been anywhere all season.
Right. By the way, running against them again yesterday was not that difficult. 5 yards before dude gets touched.
In the last 2 games, they've given up 36 points. So you're talking about a defense that was supposed to be all-world with this defensive line and this secondary valley. They've been shaky. They cannot save Jalen Hurts in this offense. So Jalen Hurts is forced to do more, and they're not even showing up due to the turnovers. So if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you got a big problem right now.
Yeah.
Who are you?
But it's going to be masked. That's a weird thing with Philly. They're going to go into the playoffs, and listen, they're going to the playoffs, obviously, and I don't think we're going to know exactly who they are.
See, I don't think you can mask it, because for me, it's not even necessarily solely on the offense. I know we're going to focus on the offense because of Jalen Hurts and all the things and the pieces that they have on that side of the ball. But for me, I look at this defense, and they just haven't been up to par all season long.
Good point.
That's been the one consistent thing that's been glaring. This is not a defense that we saw last season. And when you look at the talent that's on this defense, it's, again, inexcusable. You should not be this bad when you have the talent on the back end and up front where you can pressure the quarterback. What is going on? It starts to make me point the finger, and I hate doing this, but I have to.
Point that finger.
When you
Point
look
that
at
finger.
defensive coordinators on the side, it's like, what are you doing or what are you not doing that is not allowing these guys to be productive and benefiting allowing your offense to benefit from what they
can't
provide?
cover. Bottom line.
And they really don't have any linebackers right now. Like I know you guys refer to that as the second level, which I don't know why we have to come up with phrases for these things, but their linebacking core stinks right now. That's why they had Shaq Barrett from Indy, because he was a Pro Bowl player, because they're desperate. I'm just trying to figure out, and you can discuss amongst yourselves at home, Eagle fans being upset versus Kansas City Chief players complaining about the refs. Which one brings me more joy?
Probably Philly.
I think Philadelphia
Yeah.
losing back-to-back games and having to go on the road. But good news, Eagle fans. It's the return on Friday of Bagels and Locks.
Oh.
I've got a guarantee coming your way, and those guarantees do not happen every week. And I asked the guys to check. In the year plus we've done this show, Bagels and Locks, 19-0. Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.